They're out on the field. The pride of the Southland band crisply marches into the Giant T. The rear, the roar of 97,000 fans rises with each rhythmic step. In the background, George Beatsis is singing "Fight, Balls, Fight." The orange and white Shakers flood the air. The Volunteers are ready at the north end of the football field to burst through the gate. They're coming now, racing onto the field through the Giant T. In that magic moment that says, wherever you are, it's football time in Tennessee.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Tennessee's got a big game coming up on Saturday afternoon, 3:30, CBS, Checker Neyland, Tennessee versus Texas A&M. I think this is a big opportunity for this football team to kind of continue some momentum, right? Trying to bounce back from the loss to Florida. Keep all of your goals are still obtainable. We talked about that last night on the live stream. If you want more details about that matchup with Texas A&M, go give that show a listen. About an hour and a half long, really deep diving into this matchup coming up on Saturday afternoon. Somewhere else Tennessee needs to keep some momentum or get some momentum going again, and that is on the recruiting trail right now, according to On3, still sitting at 7th in the country. But they've got some big-time targets out there that they are still working, trying to flip some guys, right? We're talking about Cam Fountain, Cam Franklin, a couple of guys that Tennessee was in on at one point. Now they're trying to get them back on campus. I think Cam Fountain is a very legit potential to flip. Also, Kai Bates, four-star defensive back, committed to LSU. Tennessee's still very much in it, trying to get him on campus for the Georgia game. How do they finish up with guys like Jordan Seaton, an elite five-star offensive tackle? I saw where the four-star running back Daniel Hill just dropped his top three this week. Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina. Can they close on some of these guys? Well, one big one that I think they're in a good spot is four-star wide receiver Cam Michael. Now, he's a guy that plays offense, defense. He plays all over the field. Extremely talented athlete. We're going to take a look at it, see where Tennessee's at. But as always, do me a favor, smash the thumbs up just below the video. It is quick, free, and easy. It helps this channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't talk at you here. We talk with you. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're going to be live tomorrow morning, Friday morning, 9:30 a.m., Eric Kane from VolQuest.com and Locked On Vols will be in the house for about 30 minutes, taking one last look at this matchup against Texas A&M. But let's jump into it. Let's talk about Cam Michael. You can see there on the screen, four-star athlete. Now, he is listed as a defensive back at On3, listed as an athlete at 247 Sports. Tennessee is recruiting him to play the wide receiver position. Now, one thing's worth noting here, as we go back and we were talking about Mike Matthews and we were talking about Ryan Wingo and all the different wide receivers that were being targeted by Tennessee, one guy that was constant, one guy that was always in the mix but not necessarily talked about as much was Cam Michael. Now, he's a guy that this coaching staff is very high on. He is being recruited by not only Kelsey Pope but also by Josh Heupel and Joey Halsley. They are making him a priority. You look at the On3 industry rankings there. 130th nationally. They list him as a corner as 17th, but On3 ranks him as a 59th overall player. He would be the highest rated four-star in the class of 24 for Tennessee if he did commit and go that route. Now, I'm going to take a look at the scouting report here, and we're going to share up some film, let you guys take a look. And again, one thing I want you to watch is he plays all over the field. This first play, He's playing the quarterback position, and that's something that shines true in the scouting report here from Andrew Ivins over at 247 Sports. He says here, wiry two-way athlete with top-flight speed markers. Clocked one of the fastest 40-yard dash times at the 2023 National Combine and is a three-time state qualifier in the 100-meter dash, having placed third at Georgia's 6A meet as a sophomore with a personal best of 10.5 in spikes. Again, speed, right? You can't teach speed, and that's something that Josh Heupel and this coaching staff is recruiting all over the football field. Now you get that speed, and then you get the schemes and what Josh Heupel dials up for this offense. That's when we have some true weapons on this football team. Scouting report goes on to say that he's lined up at quarterback, wide receiver, and running back on Friday nights. Found success in those roles, but is viewed by a lot of schools as a defensive back at the next level. Now, again, Tennessee recruiting him to play wide receiver. That's something that he wants to do, is play wide receiver. When you look at his finalists, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and Colorado, they've shown that they're willing to take a kid out there and play them both ways. Does that factor in? Goes on to say he displays excellent short area quickness, overall fluid mover with obvious burst, does a nice job keeping his eyes on the quarterback while working at corner as he fills out routes and fights for positioning. Willing to make tackles in space, but improved technique will likely make it easier to get a much larger ball carrier to the ground. Goes on to say that he is a threat to score anytime the football finds his hand as he strings together cuts and does his best to take away angles from defenders. Should be viewed as a perimeter playmaker that can impact games in a variety of different ways. Could very well emerge as a slot receiver on Saturdays that offensive coordinators favor on swing passes, jet sweeps, but a longer frame that's over 6 foot might be valued more in the secondary at the program of his choice. Now, again, Tennessee is 100% recruiting Cam Michael to play offense. They are recruiting him as a wide receiver. So where is Tennessee at in this thing? Where is Tennessee at in the recruitment of the 4-star elite athlete? I'm calling Cam Michael an elite athlete because he can be a game changer, a guy that can do so many things, whether the ball's in his hand, whether he's playing defense. Matt Ray says he's no slam dunk to be in this class, but Tennessee is in a good spot today. Still a ways to go. Now, another post from VolQuest said that the Vols have always remained in the best position to land that talented athlete who is going to come off the board later this month. Now, we're going to get into the Simmons scoop coming up here in just a second. Chad Simmons of On3.com, what he thinks about this thing. A decision is looming. A decision is right around the corner. Now, he did take in the South Carolina game. Right, and we talk about Texas A&M coming up on Saturday. The environment that's going to be, it needs to be electric. It needs to mirror what we saw against South Carolina. It needs to mirror what we saw in that Alabama game, what we saw in the Florida game last year. Hostile environment. CBS 3:30 on the national stage. You got to keep these kids talking. You want your team to be out there being talked about week in and week out, and you go beat Texas A&M. And even though the Alabama game next week's on the road, you're still going to be in that national spotlight, 3:30 CBS, top 15, top 20 type of matchup, depending on how the polls fall, if Tennessee gets it done on Saturday. But again, Cam Michael in town for the South Carolina game. He talked about the atmosphere, said I really enjoyed the atmosphere. It was really my first game here, so I would say it was probably one of the loudest games I've been to. The fans here are really into it. It's a lot different than the other places. I would say I love how their fight song is probably one of the best I've ever heard. When I was with the players, it was cool to be around them. I feel really comfortable here. Now, he went on to talk about not just the players on the football team, but also the players that are being recruited, the other recruits. Said I enjoyed being around some of those guys. Jake Merklinger and I go way back. I was hanging around with Boo Carter, Mike Matthews, and then I got to hang out with Daniel Hill and Jordan Seaton. That's what we're talking about. We were always talking and hanging around each other. They were just telling me there is no other place around here like this. So they were trying to get me to commit and stuff like that. Boo Carter. Boo Carter, always at the center of this class of 2024. I think he's a big reason that Jordan Seaton chose to come take in that South Carolina game as well. But it's not just football. It's also academics for Cam Michael. Wants to be an engineering major. That was something he got to do when he came in for the visit. He got to meet with the director over the engineering program. He said, I saw the engineering college. Got to meet Mr. John Tickle. He was telling me more about it, how anytime I need something, I can call him up and talk about it and ask him about it. So when is the decision looming? What does Chad Simmons over at On3 have to say? This is from a couple of days ago. The Buzz says Cam Michael took his official visit to Texas A&M over the weekend. That was this past weekend. The Aggies remain in the race. An official visit to Kentucky has been scheduled for the weekend of October 28th, but that may be canceled. That is likely to happen. Goes on to say Michael has already taken official visits to Colorado and Tennessee this fall before his trip to College Station. Those are the main three programs in the mix. Again, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Colorado. Goes on to say Georgia received an official visit early in the spring. Montre Bradford is Michael's cousin. He committed to Deion Sanders and the Buffaloes on Monday. Is that going to be a factor? You know, we talked about how Deion Sanders is willing to play kids both ways. So if you've got a guy that's a talented athlete, he wants to play wide receiver and DB, is that a factor? Or do you want to come play in this Josh Heupel offense in front of this electric atmosphere? Oh, and by the way, what happens when Deion goes elsewhere? How long is Deion Sanders going to be at Colorado? I think that has to be always in the back of the minds of these kids that are looking to commit to Colorado. Goes on to say here, Michael may be close to locking in a commitment date too. Thanksgiving is on November the 23rd, and that is the day Michael could announce his commitment. The school with the most confidence around it is Tennessee. Official visits are likely done for Michael. He is looking to take a couple of more unofficial visits between now and when he makes his decision next month. So it sounds like a decision is looming coming up on Thanksgiving Day between Tennessee, Colorado, and also Texas A&M. Worth mentioning, you talk about academics. Texas A&M has a pretty good engineering program as well. How much of it is a factor? What do you think about Cam Michael as an athlete? I think he's a special kid. It seems to me like Tennessee is in the best spot to get the 4-star wide receiver. Do me a favor on the way out the door, smash the thumbs up, and go check out the merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Also want to give a special thank you to the members of the channel. You guys are who pay the light bill around here. You guys are the reason I'm on here making videos instead of working for the man. You give me the opportunity to create content and put out as much as I can. The morning shows, that's all because of you guys. I am grateful. You want to support this channel. You can hit that join button down below. You can give $1 a month. You get custom Talkin VAWLS emojis, a power T beside your name, all kinds of fun perks and benefits. But look, we're building a community here. Last night we had Dustin on the show. Great guy, always brings great opinions. The X Factor, both of those guys came through the fan call-in show. Post-game show coming up on Saturday. We're going to have Matt Begley on. Dustin's going to be back on. The week after that, Coach Rice is going to be on. The week after that, we're bringing Seth on. We're bringing different people in this community all through the fan call-in show. If you give it the elite level or higher, you get the first ones to get the link for those fan call-in shows. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out. If not, smash the thumbs up because that's quick, free, and easy. Jump into the comment section. Let's talk some Tennessee football because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.